Hello, hello. Welcome to another Crazy Walk stream. Let's finish off this Genshin Impact Archon quest. Yesterday I left it at a point where it seems like it's about to like wrap up. So if I bring up the browser here, bloop, where'd it go? Button. There we go. So yesterday I did both of these steps actually. I wasn't really expecting to do it, but I ended up doing it anyway. And admittedly, as much complaining as I've been doing about the length and everything and some of the contents of the story, I really enjoyed the second step here, where we played as Columbina and we got to see a bunch of like kind of charming, cute, adorable interactions during the Moon Prayer festival. Moon Prayer, is it just called the Moon Prayer Festival? Let's click into this. This probably tells you, right? Moon Prayer Night. And yeah, the whole like Aino and Enefa's like shenanigans was like kind of a treat. It seems to me. I guess I like those two characters a lot, and they've been kind of carrying the story for me. The whole like Columbina Sandrone, that whole interaction was also very charming and adorable. And yeah, it really it was a cool little shenanigan story, and I actually ended up really enjoying myself playing through that, despite me complaining about how long it ended up being. But yeah, today we were going to be doing this, I believe. Should I click into it? Would there be any spoilers? Yeah, there's only 3 steps, so I'm hoping it would wrap up really quick. And today, or tonight, I guess, for me here tonight, in like 10 minutes, it seems like 10-20 minutes, it's gonna be the Game Awards. So I kind of want to like wrap this up so I can go and watch that. So I'm kind of glad that this is short, but I assume this is gonna be at least like half an hour. Maybe I'll just play through it, not make too much comment, and then just like end the stream. So this is gonna be a quick one, I hope. All right, browser, get rid of the browser. Just load in. I guess I should have loaded in first. Woo, there's an update? I didn't know that. Maybe it's just a quick like hot fix, a bunch of patches to just fix minor issues. All right. So yeah, we are set up to say goodbye to Columbina, which is sad, but if I remember correctly, there was an introduction to Columbina as like a playable character, or at least the YouTube short that they put out highly implies or suggests that she would be a playable character. So I don't know how this is going to play out. Maybe even though she's gone back to the moon, there's going to be some way for her to come back into the story freely. Maybe she gains superpowers or something. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Because she is an interesting character, so it'll be a huge shame for her to kind of just disappear from the story forever now. Kind of like how La Signora, Rosalind, disappeared from the story forever abruptly. But I think that was kind of done on purpose to kind of like show us the stakes of the story. Like, people can die in this story. But actually, you think about it, that kind of storytelling has not really happened as much. I'm trying to think. All the character deaths I can think of are not like as significant, I feel like. The only one I can think of is Focalor, which was a build-up. It was kind of all surrounding that aspect. Capitano, I guess Capitano I would think of it as kind of a shame that he's dead. But then he's kind of in like a weird state. He's not dead and he's not alive. He's kind of like a paradoxical oxymoron right now, because he's a Conrayan that's been cursed with immortality, but then he also made a wager or something, or he took advantage of Natlin's wager with death. So Mawika was supposed to die, but then the loophole was that the wager was that somebody had to die, or something stupid like that. Like, somebody had to die, and it doesn't have to be Mawika. And then like Capitano wanted to end his own life, since he's been suffering with his success, suffering from immortality for all these years. He wanted to find a finality to his life, so he essentially volunteered himself to be in that position, because Death, the heavenly principle, Death only wanted one life, and it didn't have to be technically didn't have to be Moika. So he's kind of like dead, but not dead, but effectively dead. But there might be a string you can tug on. He might come back in the future, and the heavenly principles might have to get involved again if something happens. I don't know. The Natlin story, yeah, has been a little bit messy in my opinion. All right, let's do this. Where are we at? I missed one day. No, I'll never be able to get. I feel like they should add more of this into the game since there's so much characters, but this is a bit grindy. I feel like there's so many characters, so many constellations in the game, and so many waiting for the character you want to come back on rotation for the banners that I don't know. Selfishly, I feel like they should just give C0, like all characters that get released in the game now, they should just give C0 out for free. Well, maybe not for free. Maybe you have to like play their story, and after you finish their story, you unlock their C0. Because there's so many characters now, and there's so much like power creep that it almost feels like as long as you keep playing the game, you should be able to keep up with the power for the content. So I feel like C0 just given out would maybe be fair, but I'm super biased since I'm free to play. Of course, I want more rewards, right? And I feel like it's really scummy for them to lock characters in like this like kind of lottery gambling aspect of the game with the gachapon like pulling system. I mean, like, pulling literally means like pulling slot machines, right? So like it literally is referencing like gambling. But yeah, if I have to compromise, I feel like the constellations is reasonable since this game is free. Like if you want people to try to encourage people to pay for the game with constellations, I guess even then I feel like the monetization is a bit, not just a bit, a lot in the predatory side of things. And I feel like other games have done a really good job monetizing just like cosmetics and stuff, which I feel like this game they could really do if they decided, instead of Miliastra Wonderland, all the work put it into there, they instead put that work into creating all sorts of different like cosmetics, skins, toggleables, accessories and stuff for characters. Like even if it's like favoring the more popular characters, kind of like how in Overwatch 2, like who's the digger girl, what was her name? They released a new character which it wasn't as popular with the player base as some of the other ones, so she has like not a whole lot of skins and everything. It's like this like lady with a drill, and she's a DPS character. I don't remember her name. I could just look it up. I should just look it up, right? Instead of trying to waste time remembering. Overwatch 2 characters. Drill girl. Venture. Her name is Venture. If I show the browser, she is this person. Bloop. And I don't know, there's like this sentiment in the games industry, I don't know, even in the community, where they think like people are purposely leaning too hard on like representation and stuff and designing characters that are not like attractive. And there's a whole like can of worms there that probably a little off topic for me, but yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot of like skins and stuff compared to like some of the more popular characters that are getting skins, multiple skins like every patch. And the whole point was that even if they did that here, I think honestly it's like, I think that's fine if like Hu Tao or something, or Ayaka, or I wonder who's like the more popular characters nowadays. But yeah, back in the days it was like Hu Tao, Ayaka, Keqing, and Ganyu. If they had more skins compared to maybe like Shenhe or I don't know, Ye Lan or something, I think that's fine. But they could totally monetize that, and then just like, because this stuff is in the game anyway, and I feel like the FOMO, I guess, like I'm already feeling it a lot since I haven't been pulling on banners as much. And like characters is a big drive in like logging back in every day and leveling them up. But let me go to my actual characters. I've been hitting a point where all of my characters are kind of leveled up to a point where I'm satisfied with where they're at, and I don't really want to put more resources towards them. So I don't really have any incentive to use the resin anymore, other than to try and build up resources in case a new character comes in that I want to like level up right away. So like, since I'm not getting new characters, I'm not incentivized to log in every day to level up those characters, to do the things that give me the rewards to level up those characters. So it's like kind of snowballing into an effect where the more or the least amount of things you can do in the game, the least amount of incentive, the little amount of incentive you have to actually log in. And then as new games like filter in, or new or old games come back, like right now I'm playing a lot of Guild Wars 2 because there's a Winter's Day event. That's what I want to do after this stream. I want to watch the Game Awards and do like Winter's Day event random activities on the side with the Game Awards on a second screen, and I'm just doing mundane grindy brainless. I could turn off my brain and just do a bunch of like Winter's Day Christmassy themed stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I'm playing that, and it's just like the more I spend time on one game, the more I forget about the others. So I'm like in a spot where like this game is starting to fall off for me, kind of just naturally, just because of how the game is designed. But if I did have if I was just given if I go back to character archives here, if let's say maybe you still have to pull for C0 or something, you have to wait for their story step to come out, and then when you finish it, you actually unlock like just a C0 or something. Like if I had some of these characters, like for sure I'd be wanting to, if they just gave me this, maybe not right away when they release, maybe like one version, one patch after or something. Like if this character came out in, I don't know, 4.3 or whatever, and then 4.4 comes along or something, I don't know, then they'll just give it to you, the C0. And yeah, if you already pulled for constellation, you'll just get like a constellation at that point, right? And it'll make it feel like you are kind of like given more incentive to continue playing the game. Like if I actually still have some of these characters left that I would definitely want to like make stronger, that will keep me coming back every day, doing the dailies, using up the resin, getting the resources to level them up. But I'm hitting a point where I'm just like, I don't really want to level up some of these other characters. So the resin has become like a resource that I don't really look at as much anymore, because I just don't really care, since they don't really push my account, push any progression anymore. And since like the dailies and a lot of the FOMO stuff is tied to that resource, it's just like my reason to come back every day to play a game has gone away. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I can now finally like only come back to this game whenever new story comes out. And then not worry about unlocking characters and and trying to gear them up and giving them artifacts and stuff as much, and then just naturally flow to other games. I ranted. I guess I had that kind of on my mind for a while now, how maybe they can do things a bit more player friendly, or free to play friendly. I don't know. It's like I understand that it's a very biased take for a person. I just want more stuff. I just want more free stuff, right? Is what it kind of boils down to. But I genuinely believe that if they make that change, it will make the game like last longer, since more people have more access to the design and development that are being put into the game. Anyway, we are doing Melting Moonlight in the Morning Mist, Song of the Welkin Moon Act 6. So this is the final spot, this final quest in this final objective, I guess, in this quest chain. It is an Archon quest. Set out on the path back to the moon. It's time to begin the journey home. I'm guessing we still play as Columbina here, right? I believe, yeah, yesterday we got automatically put into this instance. Again, without our consent. We started this, or we got automatically transferred to this part of the story. And I had to kind of exit out of it. So I'm kind of curious where this will actually take me. I think we might have to repeat some dialogue and stuff.
Rise with the sun.
Some of the setup.
Defensive mode engaged.
Accelerating.
All right. Unless it's smart enough to like figure out. It is smart enough to like figure out where I left off. For some reason I doubt that. All right. Oh yeah, we're just right here.
In just a few moments, I will be gone. I still don't know what to expect on the moon. Will I really be able to send messages to my friends? The Kuhenki, the animals of Not Cry. I'll never get to see them again. I wonder where I'll be when the next moon prayer night comes.
Oh, here we go. I guess I accidentally got too close, and it automatically triggered.
This is where the people of Hyperborea used to communicate with the moons.
I believe the Game Awards like just started like a few minutes ago.
Iridescent moon. When the power of all three converge.
The gate to the moons.
Oh, Loudma's here.
Moon marrow preparations are complete. Only the final step remains.
The iridescent moon is like evil looking. That's the one she had, right? And I guess we had the eternal moon, which is this one. And Columbina is herself the frost moon. That's interesting. That maybe we get like a crazy Farina story here, where does she have a vision at the moment? I don't know. Maybe like after all this is said and done, she gets given a hydro vision. But since she's a frost moon goddess, you like might have like biasedly assumed that she get like a cryo vision, right? But yeah, Farina got her vision after her story quest because she technically wasn't. She technically didn't have a vision, and she technically didn't have any powers either. I think it was all like Falsalor doing like stuff behind the scene, and she was all like acting the entire time. But she did earn herself a vision after like a great performance. Farina, I mean.
I'm sure Nasha Town is livelier than ever at this moment.
Yeah, it's a shame you couldn't be there for it, but it's now or never, right?
Right.
It's fine. I'm more than happy with this. My last piece of luggage. My only piece of luggage.
Wow, you're gonna have to make sure it fits in that little like luggage thing before you can carry it onto the airplane. And sometimes they're really anal about it. Wing! By the power of the three moons.
I can already feel the moon calling to me.
So we went, in a way, since the Kuhenki or Kuvaki is the strongest right now, meaning the moon's the closest. The Phantom, what's happening right now, I guess, from what I understand, is the moon super close to Teyvat. Its powers gives Columbina the most strength. It also causes these rifts and phantoms and stuff to appear, but because it is the closest, we can actually interact with those phantoms. So in a way, you can go back in time to before this like fake sky has been created around the planet Teyvat, I guess, whatever the planet Teyvat's on. So she is launching herself from an era where there wasn't like a big barrier between the moon and the planet that we're on, so that she can actually make her way up there without having to crash into the sky, I believe, like the fake sky that Malwika punched a hole into. I think that's what the plan is. So we're technically back in time, but technically it's because this back in time came to our time. So I don't know how it's gonna play out.
Your home lies on the far side of this light, Columbina.
Or are they just gonna make a portal? If it's just a portal, then it's a little bit of a cop-out.
From now on, we will at last have a reason to pray to the true moon.
Columbina.
British Columbina.
Yes? I'm listening.
Be sure to come back and see us when you get the chance.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
But if that chance doesn't come, then remember that you have friends on this planet.
You have friends? Lucky.
People who will miss Columbina.
Yes, I will. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Well then, farewell, my friends.
My friend! My friend! Oh, we got another cutscene. Yes, I know. That's dangerous! I know you might fall down! Ashu. No, that's a Dodo communicator.
Thank you. This was my happiest night in Teyvat.
Farewell, Columbina.
Whoa, such accuracy, hand-to-eye coordination. This girl is, she's gonna grow up to do amazing things. Wait, someone's calling the Dodo communicator.
The moon.
The moon.
Really is closer than ever tonight.
Uh-oh. Was that the doctor's voice?
Columbina.
All three moons in one place.
Oh no, he
Time for
Ganondorfed us.
one final experiment. Reason, life, death, time, and space. They all believed I would fail.
He Ganondorfed us. He waited for us to get the three stones to open the door of time.
But Teyvat's primordial power never did belong to the throne of heaven. And now, they are mine.
Uh-oh. Whoa, Lauma. Whoa, we Speed Force?
Oh,
We can Speed Force? Ore no Ken. Oh no,
As long
Columbina!
as I'm here, the doctor is free to wield the three moons' power.
Well, something crazy happens right at the end. This is pretty... And
the only
the
way.
Traveler is going for it. Me! Oh, it's a portal. Damn it. I thought she was charging a ultimate
I
attack.
won't be going home today.
Columbina!
I'm hoping... secretly, I was hoping for this. Oh, she took herself to the other realm. where the moon mirror was, the eternal moon, or I guess the iridescent was also in another realm, right?
Stubborn world, do not try to control me.
He has a pretty cool voice.
Columbina.
Oh, so is it going to be a future story where we try and find out how we can save Columbina? That'd be cool. Where did she like took herself out of this equation? She like opened a rift into another dimension? Is that the same dimension that we found the iridescent moon in? Because if I remember correctly, the eternal moon...
Do your wounds still hurt?
The eternal moon marrow was kept inside like a vault of some kind. Underneath the Columbina statue on Hisi Island, right? That we broke into with our Aether, with what's his name? Rachni of Solari? So Rachni of Solari? Rachno of Solaron? What was his name? Riri or something like that? So people knew where that was. It's just that the iridescent moon marrow, nobody knew where it was until our protagonist here with our protagonist plot armor was like, I know where it is because plot. And we found it and we gave it to Arlecchino. But yeah, we got Ganondorf there from Ocarina of Time. We got the 3 whatever stones opened up the door of time, and then instead of us being trapped in the realm, it's now Columbina instead. I guess Columbina is Link, but then at the same time she was also one of the stones.
I had someone prepare a little medicine that could prove effective. Take it if you need to.
Thanks, but I'd rather talk about what just happened.
In that case, let me relate the contents of the call we made to Alice after the incident occurred.
Okay, Alice, eh?
That Dottore is a crafty one. He distracted the Hexenzirkel by creating a huge fuss at Tevat's borders.
Interesting. I'm thinking, I don't really know what this means exactly. I'm just making the assumption that she's talking about like the borders between dimensions. Because that makes the most sense to me. Otherwise, we'd be talking about Tevat and other countries, other continents with countries on them, maybe? I don't know. Which kind of opens up a whole new thing, right? Like, oh, what kind of characters, what kind of stories, what kind of crazy magic and whatnot is on those places. So I'm thinking it's like the borders between like life and death, borders between domains and Tevat and all that stuff. There's like trouble, like the ley line, whatever thingies. Ley line blossoms are kind of like a border of sorts as well, if that makes sense.
I'd assumed that the cause was an abyssal intrusion from the outside world, which in fairness is a rather common occurrence. But after learning that you managed to influence the phantoms in Nodcry, I realized that perhaps this interference could have come from within Tevat instead.
But we weren't able to change their fates.
True, you couldn't change how their stories ended, but you did build some variables around yourself.
Variables?
Yes. Things you heard that you could not otherwise have learned. Ideas that would otherwise have never crossed your mind. All these things are variables.
Okay, so we couldn't ultimately affect the past, but the past can change the present. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Of course, most variables usually pale into insignificance with the myriad of possibilities floating around. But the moment you start treating them as building blocks and intentionally stacking them, that changes things.
So one of the things that I've kind of criticized the story was that the whole time travel thing between the phantoms of the past and our current, like, timeline. like being really messy. Like we can affect them, but it doesn't do anything. I think like Doctor Who, the way they kind of like hand waved everything was they say like a lot of things don't really matter. A lot of like choices and things don't really matter all that much. Like you can go back in time and do a bunch of things, and it doesn't really affect how things play out, like the entire picture, entire universe as a whole, except for like certain core timelines or core like things, events that happens in like every timeline or whatever when it comes to time travel. And no matter what you do, like going back in time and stuff, is like you cannot change what's going to happen. Somehow something is always going to lead the events to a specific thing. It doesn't have to always be like the same like person or the same thing that it happens to. It'll happen to someone, the same thing will happen, and the result will always be the same. That's kind of how they explain the time travel that happens in that TV show, I guess. I haven't followed Doctor Who in a while, so this is like David Tennant Doctor Who, and what was the one after one? Matt Smith is like the furthest I got when it comes to. Actually, no, Peter Capaldi was like, I think I watched those series too, but for some reason that one was not as memorable to me. Maybe the stories there were just not as good as some of the Matt Smith and what was the first one? I'm trying to remember names. Matt Smith and David Tennant, Doctor Who's. But yeah, I kind of like that. It kind of eases your brain, I think, when they have that kind of explanation. It's just like, okay, yeah, that's the thing. And then it makes it so that that part of your brain that keeps going like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? When it comes to like all the weird paradoxes and logical fallacies and stuff that happens during like a time travel, time related story. It like kind of just puts that aside and be like, okay, we'll just go with this. And I don't think they did a good job here where they kind of offered that as like a reference point or a plot point of some kind. So like constantly when it's like, oh, you can kind of change the past, like how when we were playing as these two and Durin can like make barriers to kind of guide this one guy away from dangers to try and help him survive. And he tried it so many times, and no matter what he did, the guy ended up dying anyway. It's like there's like this nagging voice in the back of my head that's like, oh, what if he's just not smart enough, or he's just not the person who's able to change things? What if someone did have like the ability? It's just that we haven't thought about it or something. Or what if like it did make a difference? It's just that the difference is not, it's one of those like butterfly effect things. Like maybe it didn't make a difference for the immediate area or the people in the area, but like one affected another thing, and then like maybe, I don't know, 10-15 years later, some other person has like a completely different life because of what we did. But at the same time, they didn't really explain it very well. So it's like, is that just like simulation playing out and it reacting, but it's still kind of like contained in a simulation, so it's not actually like altering what happened in the past? Is it just like a copy or a recording or a playback of like something going around in the background or in the past that we can kind of sort of interact with, like a video game? Like the memories turned into a video game, and the video game has like certain AI scripting elements that will react to the player, but each video game session is like contained within itself, so it's not like you're actually affecting the world that the video game is based on. You're just affecting the environment that you're playing in during that, like the RAM environment that you're playing in. If that makes sense. I feel like I kind of went really off on a crazy tangent there.
That's what Dottore did, and it's how he created the necessary conditions so that when you activated the portal tonight, it played right into his plan.
However, we have no way of knowing exactly what he did.
Yeah, we also need to ascertain Columbina's status.
And that about sums it up.
As I suspected, Dottore has disappeared completely. If it's any consolation, he wasn't able to control Columbina as he might have wished to.
I wonder why she's here. Technically speaking, her and the doctor are on the same side, right? So she being here is kind of like sketch, you know? Like, if she's as trustworthy as we want her to be, like right now I want her to be like on our side, right? Like, but what if she's like taking advantage of that? Because she's technically supposed to be evil, right? If she's part of an evil organization like the Fatui and the Harbinger, being a Harbinger, like one of the leaders of that organization. So, if putting like emotions aside, like as much as I like her, as much as I think she's super cool, and that it'll be cool to have her as a friend, an ally, just looking at it like allegiances. She's technically not supposed to be on our side, right? We're technically supposed to be against each other. Like the organization she's working for and fighting for, their goals and motivations is like against what we want to do, right? And by that I mean like they want to take all the gnosises and use the power to destroy the heavens, whereas we don't want things to be destroyed, I guess. It's kind of what we want to like help everyone kind of thrive it as their own entity with their own powers and not let other oppressive forces like the Tsaritsa come in and just like take advantage of everyone and use everyone to their own means. We kind of are fighting that like virtuous fight, fight of virtue, trying to like let everyone have their freedoms. I don't know. I was saying that and I was thinking like, wait, no, our goal is to find our brother. Do we really care about who gets affected along the way? I guess we do, since we hang around. We've actually spent more time hanging around with all these random people in Teyvat than actually making a honest effort in looking for our brother at this point. I'm afraid that's small consolation given the reason why.
Oh no!
To disrupt the doctor's plan, she escaped into the moon's reflection. Okay, so she did go into the iridescent moon like dimension thing.
What? She did what?
Wait, didn't any of you see her do that?
All we saw was Dottore appeared and used some kind of power. The next thing we knew, he and Columbina were gone and you were falling into the sea.
What? Well, yeah, we engaged in a fight with Dottore. He was shooting us and we were like deflecting with our swords and we were super cool. I see. The doctor froze time, which is why only I could move freely. Wait, he can freeze time? What? That's so rigged. Maybe it takes a lot of power. Maybe he needed the moon marrow in order to do that too. And once Columbina left, he didn't have access to that power anymore. From their perspective, the battle and Columbina's decision all happened in a single instant. So that's the power of the three moons. But why wasn't I affected? Is it because I'm a descender?
So, Columbina intentionally opened the moon gate and escaped into the same mysterious world as Rerir and Thalindus.
Sounds like bad news.
Well, he's in the shade. This must be why Dottore's been lying low this whole time. He was biding time until he could execute his plan.
Seen in that way, the trilunar syzygy and Rerir's emergence, Dottore might have been pulling the strings in both cases. According to Miss Alice, he is attempting to transcend his destiny and finish an experiment that only a god might complete.
An utter lunatic.
Wait a sec. Where's Hat Guy? Seems like he'd want to be here for this.
He took off with the Dodo communication device after we spoke to Alice. He said he had a hunch that he wanted to investigate by himself.
I guess nobody really knows that Hat Guy has like information, I guess, that other people might not have about the Fatui and Dottore specifically. It was Dottore that kind of convinced Scaramouche that he can turn Scaramouche into a god, right? Just so Scaramouche was like in a phase at the time. He wanted to really show up his mom, really get the approval of Raiden Shogun, or not Raiden Shogun. I guess it would be A, right? Raiden A. So that he let Dottore like do whatever he wants to him, so that he could become that like boss fight, the weekly boss fight that I have not done for a while now, since I've been doing the most recent 3. Where he gets like a Gundam suit. Like he was trying to become a god then. So I guess once Scaramouche fell out of the picture there in Dottore's eyes, he pursued a different avenue of trying to like do god powers related to gods and stuff.
The look on his face was terrifying. I've never seen him like that before.
But yeah, Scaramouche, or the hat guy, would have information that he probably doesn't want to share, since it has to do with his past that nobody should know anything about. Probably anger and frustration at the fact that Dottore was one step ahead, despite his best efforts. And honestly, I feel the same way.
I'm back.
Oh, hi, back. I thought you were Bongo Head. I mean Hat Guy. I mean Scaramouche. I mean the Wanderer. I mean Kini Suzushi.
Hat guy!
I went to look for the Hyperborean phantoms again. I think I've gotten to the bottom of it. I got them to talk to Nicole on the other end of the communications line. Turns out, the history they describe is different from how Nicole remembers it.
Oh, interesting.
Really? But how? Surely Nicole can't have been wrong.
Because the phantoms are the ones who are deceived. They speak of a savior who appeared in their history. One who never should have existed.
Wait, he can time travel? He can stop
This savior
time?
promised to create a new moon within the false sky, and even bring back their moon goddesses. Foolishly, they believed in him, and told him everything he wanted to know about the moons.
I feel like they should not have put in the clapping sound. The applause made this sound so pathetic. Like only 5 guys are like, yay, yay. When usually when something like this, you would hear like an entire crowd of applause, right? And it'll sound like really epic. Like this person is actually like has a lot of people's like trust and admiration in their minds. But no, it's just like 3 guys say, yay, this guy is so cool. This weirdo over here is so cool. He relates. I relate to him because I'm literally him.
It's obvious that this was Dottore's doing.
Now you mention it, the first time we entered the Hyperborean ruins, we heard the phantoms discussing their history, and I remember Nicole commenting that something sounded a little strange.
But Dottore shouldn't have been able to get in there in the first place.
He didn't. Nicole said that this was an anomalous state triggered by disruptions in the causal connections between phantoms from the same era. The variables that Dottore put in place were substantial enough that they even affected phantoms that he never met.
What is this variable?
So it's not that their memories were unclear. They'd been tampered with.
Ooh, Irminsul reference they went back in time and did some messing around through Irminsul. I guess we kind of time traveled when we went into Irminsul to help the Wanderer complete his goal of like erasing the world of himself. So there have been time travel stories in the past as well. I feel like that was done a lot better because the way they explained it was that the whole Teyvat's like memory and happenings is like tied to Irminsul, and if we didn't actually change the past, we just rewrote what happened, and that kind of cascades out to all the living beings that are connected to Irminsul. So like in a way they didn't remember the things that we kind of like cut out of the memory tree. So we didn't actually affect the past, we just affected people's perception of it. And that's how like a lot of the stuff still happened. A lot of the terrible things that happened to Scaramouche still happened. It's just that he got rid of everyone's memories of it so that he may start anew. He actually got rid of it in himself too, but he thought of like a loophole that eventually got him to remember you remember your memories. Get rid of the amnesia and remember your memories.
That's exactly the possibility Dottore was trying to manufacture. He turned these variables into knowledge and engineered the situation so all that knowledge would fall into his hands. Then, he harnessed that knowledge on Moon Prayer Night to truly create a false moon.
How is that even possible?
To be precise, he exploited a weakness in the way the spell works. The spell senses Kuvaki to detect the moon's location. So, as long as the false moon more strongly resembled the moon than the frost moon beyond the skies, the gate would teleport Columbina to the false moon's location. In other words, to Dottore's side. Once he had her under control, the teleportation spell remained active, and he manipulated her power to seize both moon marrows.
Interesting. So she was trying to connect with the port. I guess she was creating a portal so there could still be the fake sky this entire time. She was trying to create a portal to her moon, the frost moon, but because she didn't have a VPN, she actually connected to the public Wi-Fi, which is actually owned by Dottore. Dottore was able to steal all of her data, and also not let her access certain regions of Netflix TV shows. Is that how it kind of plays out? They like man-in-the-middle attacked. I think that's what it would be called in a tech world between like networking different devices. Like when you connect your smartphone to a network and go to like google.com, let's say, that network could be like not actually connected to the real World Wide Web, but it's like a personal network that they spun up. And then if you go to google.com, they just catch that and be like, yes, I know what google.com is, and they'll return you like their own version of it. Like they can do whatever they want, essentially. They'll return you that website. And then say, oh, but you gotta log in. And then when you log in, that's how they steal your information. So yeah, it's like a man-in-the-middle attack is what happened, Dottore. That's what Dottore did to try and trap Columbina. What else were they? There was another point that I wanted to talk about. Something about the false guy. Yeah, she was making a portal, so the false guy should still be there. But then it was connecting it to Dottore, so Dottore was able to just jump through and be like, haha, it is me. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to kind of touch on is like, why would the Tsaritsa be okay with this? Or is Tsaritsa just like, does she just completely trust that all her harbingers are doing the right thing? Because I feel like maybe it's because Columbina is not a harbinger anymore, so it's like kind of not like the Tsaritsa might not even care anymore because of that. But I feel like all this infighting between the harbingers, it would probably upset the CEO, right? Like, oh, you guys are wasting time like messing with each other when I want you guys to be going out getting me gnosises. What the hell's going on here? And apparently the Tsaritsa had like plans of her own to use Columbina, right? It's just that Columbina, she kind of quit before what the Tsaritsa wanted to use her for kind of came into play. Or maybe she did something, or maybe she did do something for the Tsaritsa, causing her to be super weak, and then because she's super weak, she decided to quit because the Tsaritsa just didn't have any use for her anymore, and at the same time didn't want to just keep her around. Didn't want to keep her employed. Just to like keep her around. So he fired her, she laid her off. She forced a voluntary, what do you call it when you like voluntarily like quit? Like you voluntarily lay yourself off before the layoffs happen. So, I don't know. What does this say about the Tsaritsa then, right? Letting Dottore, like, is she as cold as they say then? She doesn't care? Because you'd think she would care about all these people that she handpicked to be her, like, top people, right? She'd be like, you guys are, like, working for me. But maybe I'm just imagining, like, a proper, like, leader. Maybe Tsaritsa is a bit more goal-oriented than humanitarian. Maybe she doesn't care how things get done. She just wants things to get done. And then anything else, like, you guys figure it out. It's your business, not mine. My business is my business. Wait. My business is your business, but your business is your business. Take it. Just leave me out of it. That kind of deal. I don't know. And I wonder how this, like, Tsaritsa being so powerful, but she still forgot about him, right? He's still affected by Irmitsul. So, yeah, I feel like there's a whole lot of, like, story threads with the whole, like, Fatui, the Harbingers, Tsaritsa. I guess maybe when we finally go to Snezhnaya, we'll dive deeper into this kind of story. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on here that I'm still, like, looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
At that moment, the moon marrows disappeared right before our eyes. It was already too late, even as we were leaving the ruins.
By then, Dottore had already amassed the power of all 3 moons.
So, where does that leave us? What do we do now?
I'd certainly like to know what Her Majesty thinks, now that the concerns I expressed to her have come to pass. But we cannot simply sit and wait for her to decide the matter. And in any case, it is not the Fatui Harbinger Damselette who sees us as her friends, but rather Columbina Hyposelenia. If, even in such extreme circumstances, Her Majesty will not lift the prohibition on Harbingers drawing steel against one another.
Even in such extreme circumstances, Her Majesty will not lift the prohibition on Harbingers drawing steel against one another. I guess that makes sense. So I was like, wait, what? But Dottore is attacking Columbina, so isn't Dottore drawing steel on Columbina? But no, Columbina has quit, so she's technically not a Harbinger anymore. So I guess she's free game. But then this opens up the question, like, how are we going to defeat Dottore? And the knave is like saying, well, I can't do anything because I am prohibited in attacking Dottore. So count me out. Maybe that's what she's saying.
Then I will do as my heart demands. I will fight as Peruware instead.
Oh, she's fighting as herself. Oh, she decided to, like, drop her Harbinger title just to, I don't know, fight for a friend. Fight for Columbina.
Time is short, so I'll make the first move.
But you don't have the Moon Marrow anymore. Does that mean she's not as powerful? Okay, we'll see you later.
Whew. Even Arlecchino seems to be losing her cool now.
And she's the coolest one of them all. I'm sure she feels partly responsible for this. And so do I. Lots of dots.
All right. Lose those dejected looks for a moment and let me get a word in.
Okay.
It looks bad, I won't lie. Very bad, in fact. So Dottore's pulled some real dirty tricks to gain the upper hand. For now. And yeah, it's to the point where even the mages say that his variables have affected destiny. I'm not so sure, though. Many have told me that Tevat's destiny is fixed, and that does appear to be the case. Well, what makes Dottore so sure he'll be the exception? And since he was able to stack these variables up, who's to say we can't do the same? You of all people should not be discouraged, traveler from afar.
I'm a what?
This isn't over yet.
Still, I can't help but blame myself.
And you're not alone in that. Everyone here does, whether they've spoken thus far or not. But none of us are the type to sit back and wait for the sun to shine again. That's exactly how a knight should roll. If they knock you down, you get back up and get back in it. Don't forget, Honorary Knight, you're a legitimate member of Mondstadt too.
Mark is right. This is far from over. Dottoro's already way overdue a butt-kicking given his past shenanigans. And after
She
this,
used the word.
he's earned himself a double dose.
I really like the word shenanigans. It's really fun to say.
That's what I'm talking about. How's everyone else feeling?
I'll use Kuvaki to investigate Columbina's whereabouts. I am not ready to give up either.
We opened up a portal to that. Oh wait, but we used the both. No wait, we only used the Eternal Moon's Marrow to get to it, right? But we lost that too, so... Wait, did we have to use powers? How did we open up the portal to get the iridescent moon marrow? I somehow remember Arlecchino doing that, but that was before she got moon marrow powers, because we were literally getting that moon marrow for her. So, do we technically have the ability to open up a portal to that place? And we can just do it again and get Columbina?
Leave the intel gathering to me. Whatever happens within Nodcry's borders, when the Curatorium of Secrets wants to be in the know, we always find a way.
Okay, sure.
Arno and I will do all we can to support you. We will attempt to reverse engineer Dottoro's actions and seek a breakthrough that way.
Alice and Nicole are busy dealing with an emergency at Tevat's borders, so they can't return just yet. But they're both very angry about this. They've asked Albedo and me to act on the Hexen Circle's behalf and do everything in our power to fight back against Dottori.
I guess now we've kind of, not officially, but they're part of the Hexen Circle now. Before we just saw them as Knights of Favonius, right? Or maybe just him, and he was just kind of a adorable dragon that appeared out of nowhere. But now they're also affiliated with the Hexen Circle now, since his mother is a Hexen Circle. Wait, no? Yes. No? Yes, Gold, right? Gold Rheindotter. She is part of the Hexen Circle, but something happened to her. Did she ascend or something? I don't know.
Are you ready then? We're going to have to conduct a lot of research.
Research?
Even in the early stages.
We must research.
I'll do my best.
As for me, I'm pretty familiar with Dottori's way of doing things, so I can try to predict his next move. I'll help with your investigation.
Everyone's like, question mark? How are you familiar with Dottori's way of doing things? We've never heard of you before. And he's like, reasons?
Nice. Looks like we have our basic division of labor. I'll get in touch with Flint's and Itlua, get them to have a chat with their Starshiner. It couldn't hurt to bring the Lightkeepers on board as well. At the same time, I'll pass on instructions to the Knights present in Nodcry to assist the Lightkeepers and other organizations in ensuring the safety of those living here.
Can you ask for Eula Lawrence to be part of the story? We haven't seen her in a while in any, like, real capacity, not just, like, random one-off, like, dialogue sections. Understood. We've got to be prepared for anything.
Yeah! We'll show him!
We're gonna smash his face in.
That's it then. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. Is that it? Oh, there's more? There's more. Interesting. Oh no, sad traveler on the rooftops. Whoa. Columbina? Is she trying to talk to us through the light or whatever?
I never thought that Columbina would become my real name. It went from being a Fatui code name to something my friends call me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us.
The moonlight? We must look at the moon! Oh, never mind. That's the fake moon. Don't look at that. It does not deserve our gaze. Or does it? Oh, here we go. Quest complete. Yeah, that took an hour. Now, I guess I ranted a lot about time travel and random thoughts that I have that tangentially relate to this. Oh, and no, there's more. Columbina. She's falling into the realm. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, interesting. We got the greeting card. Moon Prayer candies from Columbina. Oh man, this is so bloated. What is this? Wild Hunt map phenomena? Is it this? No, I don't even know who Colonel Iron Whale is. We've got so much junk. We got too much junk in our trunk. Oh, it's the item we got? Okay, we got this. A Moon Prayer candy made by Columbina for everyone to enjoy. Inspired by her boundless imagination, this candy holds a wide variety of surprising flavors, perhaps drawn from the tastes she remembers most fondly. What was the other one? It was that thing, the card we made for her, right? Oh, it's up here. Oh. Oh, we get to see the pictures. Everyone's having so much fun. Oh, look at these three. They're so adorable. Got him. Oh no, Dory. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's the candy. Everyone wants to put stickers on Inefa's face. Yeah, the story was really charming. I really liked it. And secretly, I gotta say, knowing that Columbina is not gone forever, there's gonna be future stories where I assume we're gonna try and save her or trying to recover hers in some way, and maybe try and get the Moon Marrows back from Dottore for her. I'm actually happy. So the possibility of her becoming a playable character just like increased a lot in my mind. But I guess it is confirmed, right? It's pretty much confirmed with the YouTube short that they had, kind of showing her as a Hydro character. Oh, looky here. Primo Gems? People would probably not even know to come in here for Primo Gems. Oh, you get decorations out of this too. Ooh, you get a Dodoko thing. Dodoko Whirligig. Oh, that's the thing you can sit on. The merry-go-round, I was calling it. Oh, you get this as well. Okay. Yeah, it always pays to kind of like go in and see what rewards you have, because you might get more than you thought. Greeting cards for Columbina. Quest item. A greeting card prepared by Columbina's companions for Moon Prayer Night. It carries their heartfelt wishes, hoping that wherever she is, she will remember the smiles they shared tonight. Yay! Interesting. Okay. Ooh, that still took about an hour, so it was still pretty lengthy. Now I'm thinking, like, should I just wait until all of just like wait till the next day to watch the Game Awards, just so I watch it all at once? Because now I'm in an awkward position where if I tune in now, I missed a whole bunch of stuff already, and it might be a little awkward. But I could probably just watch it, like end the stream, tune in, and then the next day watch it again. Since a lot of times when I'm at work and stuff, when I work my IRL job, I do have like YouTube on a second screen, just playing like a podcast or something, just so like there's some audio to like second screen content while I work. So maybe I can just throw that on second screen tomorrow when I go to work. Is there anything else here that might be worth looking into before I end the stream? This is an extra. It's not just that one thing there, so I got another 500 here, which is very nice. And yeah, very nice. I believe I finished this. I got all the Primo Gems out of this. Oh yeah, there's this next, I guess. Do I want to stream that? Oh, the Miliastra Wonderland. I do not like. I feel like that is such a bad direction to take the game. They could have put all this resources into like making this game better, but no, they built a completely different game and then stuck it into this game. They should have just made that a standalone thing. Now this game is like 120 gigabytes or whatever. Okay, maybe not that big, but it's like really big for the PC version. Yeah, there's just this then. I wonder how this is gonna work. Is it like 5 days of maybe like half an hour to an hour of gameplay? Or is every single one of these days gonna be like 3 hours? That's what's knocking in my head when I'm trying to decide whether if I want to live stream this story or not. There is a FOMO reward, which is all this stuff. I still have 32 days to do this though. That's like a month. That's like into next year. Maybe I can hold off. I don't know. View. Accept quest. I'm so behind. I have all these quests to play still. So that's what I'm saying too. Like if I get C0 of these characters, especially Clorind, I really wish I had more Clorind. Then I have more incentive to play these, right? Like I want to play them, get the character. It'll be fun. But now it's just been sitting there, and I'm just like, a lot of this stuff kind of becomes a barrier to actually enjoying the game, because now I'm coming to the game and it's like, oh, it looks like there's so much work. And like judging by how long a lot of the stories are now, it's like, this is gonna be another 6 hours, 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 this is gonna be who knows how long if they want me to set aside 5 days to play it. And it makes me go like, I don't have the time right now to sit down and play through these stories. And like being able to sit down for many hours at the time has become more and more rare. And when I do have the time to do that, I would rather like live stream like Guild Wars or something than to actually sit down and play these. So there's always like something else I would rather do with that time than playing these, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe I should just live stream more. Just try push everything else out of my life and just live stream more. Maybe that would help. Play video games all day. Oh yeah, woo! We get a intertwined fate for completing it in the handbook, Adventurer's Handbook. We got a bunch of other stuff. Okay. Yeah, interesting. There's also these quests that has been gathering dust inside my quest log here, this journal here. Okay, I'm just gonna end things right here. It still ended up being an hour, which is still pretty lengthy if I have to admit. It's just not as lengthy as the previous ones, which is actually probably a good thing more than anything. So yeah, I'm gonna end things. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I'm gonna go play Guild Wars 2. I'm gonna play on my own time, like the Winter's Day stuff, because it's been actually kind of fun chasing some of the rewards that has been released. And yeah, I'm gonna watch the Game Awards. Woo! Hopefully my favorite game wins. Actually, I haven't really played any new games this year, so all the games that are nominated, I like don't even know. I don't know anything about. The only games I've been playing is Genshin Impact, Guild Wars 2, and actually in the beginning of the year I played a bunch of like Final Fantasy, but those aren't new games still. Those are still backlog games. The newest game I played was Stellar Blade, and even that was a port from PS5, right? So it was released a year earlier. So yeah, I actually have not played any new games this year that was released this year. Oh man, my gamer card, my epic gamer card, I don't deserve it anymore. Anyway, I said this already, but yeah. See you guys in the next one. I gotta go now. Bye-bye.